All right, welcome back to the $1 Million Challenge, where I start off with $1 and work my way up to $1 million through gambling. Today, we're running the bracket challenge. I've been doing this challenge for a few episodes so far, and basically what I'm doing is I'm taking strategies, putting them head-to-head 1v1 against each other, to see which one performs better to move on to the next round to find the best winning strategy. So, if you're new here, I go for 1% profit every single day using 4% of my bankroll to prevent myself going too deep in the hole and losing a lot of money. Yeah, that's pretty much the basics of the challenge, but let me show you guys where we're sitting at today. Okay, so the bankroll is currently at $1,152 on day 178 of the challenge. Our 1% profit goal of that would be $11.52, and then our stop loss is $46, which is 4% of the bankroll. Like I said, if you're new here, basically what I'm doing is gambling up to $1 million. I try to explain this in every episode for anyone that's new, but I use a bunch of different casino apps and I claim bonuses. I wager on those apps to get any bonuses or promotions, deposit bonuses, anything like that. I also implemented sports betting recently, so I do very small sports bets to increase the bankrolls outside of the website. And then we cashed out some profit in some previous episodes where I have $232 in USDC, which is like the USD coin. And then that's just a little bit of a savings account to protect some of the balance. And then I have about $320 in Bitcoin invested. So my total bankroll was a little bit like spread out. Somebody was asking like I should be showing the entire balance in the website every video to prove it. If everything's recorded, if you've been watching the challenge, everything's on video. I've shown me cashing out money, claiming all these bonuses. The only thing I don't show is the sports betting because it's like very boring and slow, and I record these like a couple weeks difference of like when I actually do the sheet. So the sports betting, I could show them just for proof I do them, but like to actually show my bets like very in depth wouldn't make much sense. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what we're doing to grow this bankroll. To look at the bracket today, we have two strategies. Like I said, we're doing a roulette strategy and we're doing a dice strategy. So those are our two strategies for today. We're gonna put those head-to-head against each other and see which one performs better, and hopefully we get some profit today. Okay, so our first strategy is called Poppy Floppy. This was submitted by Sunny, and this is an auto-roulette strategy on the originals. So basically, pretty simple strategy. He said it's more of a grinder strategy, but what we do is we put 3 units on a color and then 2 units on a row. If we're betting on red, we do the first row. If we bet on black, we do the second row. He shows pictures down here. But if your bet hits the color, it's 1 unit profit. If your bet hits the row, it's 1 unit profit. And if it hits the color on the row, it's a 7 unit profit. So with the number coverage here, there's 11 numbers that are 0x, and he's saying 22 numbers on the entire board are 1.2x, and then 4 of the numbers would give you a 2.4x. So we're gonna run with this strategy here, this setup. So he puts 3 units on black, 2 units on the last row here, and that's pretty much it. Pretty simple. Okay, so coming into the website, what we got set up here is exactly what we just looked at. So obviously that was his cell phone, it's a little different, but we got 3 units on the color and then 2 units on the row here. And I'm using 50 cents as my base unit. I think it's a little bit safer, I believe, with our $46 balance. He said we should be trying to get 4 wins. I think I'm going more for like 10 wins, I think. I want to go a little bit more conservative just so we have a better chance of winning. And we're just flat betting this, so we're not going to increase the bet size at all. We're just doing the 250, and I'm just going to repeat this bet until we get a profit or bust. So I'm going to start an auto bet strategy, or I guess just auto bet this, auto play. And we're going to do it kind of slow just to see how it runs. Let's get started here. So we're probably going to get a lot of losses, and hopefully we get some good hits too. So this is so far getting destroyed, which is all right. What I'm really hoping for is to get a 7x payout, which would be the color and the row. So we'll see how this does. It's coming back a little bit. Definitely a little bit of a bigger bet size compared to what I usually do when it comes to running these strategies, but I think this is what it's meant for. You're supposed to not do like a ton of bets. Good wagering strategy, like he said, which we're definitely wagering a lot of money. But I'm hoping to get that 7x. I hope that I think the 7x would really boost the balance or the profit. So we're about halfway there. We got to get $11.52. I put a stop on profit goal of that. So if we can hit that, the challenge will be complete. So we're starting to go back down a little bit. Okay, there's a 2.4x. I'm trying to get that 7x. I want to see the 7x pop off. That'd be sick. But it's starting to cook now. I'm liking this. Definitely a very simple strategy. Not too much thinking. Very easy to set up. And with our bet size, we do have a lot of working room with our bankroll. We could probably take, if I had to take a wild guess, would be like 18 losses. I'd say 18, maybe, give or take. But we're starting to go down a little bit, staying pretty flat. We'll see how this goes here. I guess while this is running, I will show you guys too. I do vault money, so I have about almost 200 bucks in the vault, and I always have the 4% bankroll for the day in the playable balance. So that's always in there, so you guys are aware that we need one more win here. There it is. There's a profit goal. I like that strategy. Very short, very simple. We got $12 in profit on that, so that's pretty good. And we wagered 120, so not a bad strategy. I like it a lot. It won. We'll move on to the next strategy, and I'll be right back. Okay, so day 178 was a win. We got $12 in profit. So our new balance is sitting at $1,165, which makes our 1% profit goal $11.65. Our stop loss is about $47. I'm gonna keep it the exact same as the previous challenge or the previous strategy, just to keep things equal. So we're gonna use $46 as the base or as the bankroll size as our stop loss, and then $11.52 will be our profit goal. So the next strategy is by Salt. It's an 11 max depth dice strategy. So we need 11 progressions, and I'll show you what he suggested. All right, this one's pretty nuts. This is a lot, but let me go through it. So he said this is quite exhausting, which I think it's going to be very exhausting. But he says he has good results doing it. So the key idea is profitable until the casino hits an anomaly. It's a very basic strategy. You're just betting $0, waiting for a setup on either side of the dice, landing 3 times on over/under. Once it hits over/under 3 times in a row, you're gonna swap the bets to the opposite side, and if it doesn't hit, you martingale that same side until it lands on it. Basically, he said he has most success doing this with 11 max depth, so you have to martingale 11 times. Basically, the chances of a dice rolling on the same side 11 times, which would bust the balance, is 1 in 4,630, which is still too likely to happen. We know how that works. Odds always, things can happen. But since we added the original configuration of needing the dice to roll 3 times on the other side before we place the bet, that means the real depth needing to bust for the dice to roll 14 times on the same side, because we're going for 3 and then we're going for 11, so that's 14. So that's 1 in 14,000 chance of busting. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. You can read the rest of that if you want. But we're gonna set this up and get going with it. Okay, so we're in dice, and our starting base bet will be, actually I gotta reset the live stats, and I'm gonna vault some money while I'm talking, but our starting base bet will be 2 cents. That'll give us 11 progressions. So this might take a very long time. I might have to either speed this up or skip, but basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off on a $0 bet, and then we're gonna bet this until we get 3 losses on one side. So just like that, we got 3 losses on that side. So we're gonna stay with the over here and go for 2 cents. And then we're gonna bet this until it hits. We're just gonna martingale it. And this is showing you how many losses you can really get in a row. So there's our win. We won 2 cents after getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses in a row. So yeah, that's how it's gonna go. And we got to go for $11.52. So I'm gonna repeat this and just do 0 bets until it hits one side 3 times. Okay, so I hit 3 times on the right side. So I'm gonna flip this, and then we're gonna do a 2-cent bet and just martingale this until it hits. So there it goes. So that's how this is gonna work. It's gonna take me probably like an hour to do this. I don't know, it's gonna take a long time. So I'm probably just gonna do this and I'll come back to the recording once I complete this or bust. Okay, so I'm about 30 minutes into doing this. I'm up $2. I've wagered $10. I'm just gonna show you guys what I'm doing. And I know my face cam is blocking. Some of this, so let me remove my face cam real quick so you can see what I'm doing. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so I'm watching these 3 bars up here. This is what I'm doing. So you might hear tapping because I'm using my keyboard to make this quicker, but I just keep betting until I hit 3 I get 3 in a row. So there's 3 losses in a row. So we want to stay betting on this side, and I just increase this to 2 cents. That's our base bet, and then I bet it until it hits. So I hit right away, then I reset the bet to 0 until I get 3 more, and there's 3 more wins in a row. So then I flip this because we want to bet the other side. Then I go back to 2 cents, and that hit immediately right away. So we reset the bet amount back to 0, and then I'll just keep going until I get 3 in a row. So there's 3 wins right there. So we're gonna bet the other side, and then 2 cents is our base, and we hit it right away. So let's reset that. And it might take a while. Sometimes it takes a long time to get there. So you can see I'm just looking for your pattern of 3. So there's 3 losses right there. So we're gonna keep it the win side over here. Go for 2 cents. We lose, double up, and we win. Reset the bet amount. There's 3 wins in a row, so we're gonna flip this to the other side because it hit the right side 3 times. 2 cents. Double, double, double. It hits. Reset, and just try to find that pattern of 3. There it is. 2 cents. I didn't martingale that. Messed up. There we go. Okay. So yeah, back to 0, and this is what I'm doing. It's very, very slow, but it has been working because we are doing 2 cents, so we have a ton of progressions to work through. And yeah, so this is very time consuming, but it seems to be working so far. And this one is very hard to talk and do. I really have to lock in for this one because I'm trying to do it quick, as fast as possible. So it's really hard for me to like try to talk and do this one. That's why I'm just gonna cut. But I just want to show you guys what I'm doing, how it's working. As you can see, I'm just going here until I hit a streak of 3. And sometimes it takes a while. So there's 3 right there. We'll go up to 2 cents. And it hits right away. Sometimes I've been on some like pretty big dips, nothing super crazy yet, but yeah, that's what I've been doing. It's very boring. It's a very boring strategy, but that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep running it, and I'll come back in a little bit. I think I need to win like 572 bets like progressions. I need to win, profit 572 times, and then I'll hit the profit goal. So I might be here for the rest of the evening, but I'll be back. All right, I'm a little bit over an hour in, probably an hour and 15 minutes if I had to take a guess. And just want to check in with you guys. So this is very time consuming. I'm halfway to the profit goal. It's working very well, I will say that. We did about 2,200 bets so far. We have $5.76 in profit. And our biggest dip, we were down to break even. I think it was like a $2 bet, $3 bet maybe. I can't remember exactly, but it's working pretty good. It's working pretty good. It's very slow, very slow. But just to show you guys, I guess I'll do a little bit more gameplay on camera because I don't want to just like cut to the end of this. I feel like that's, I gotta show it what it does, right? But like I said, it's really hard to lock in on this when I'm trying to talk. So I'll do my best here. Yeah, I mean, you're getting 2-cent wins every single time, so it's very, very slow. But it works. I'm sure it's possible to hit a crazy loss streak and have it bust. But we're getting on a good win streak here. Or at least for the strategy. Yeah, typically I would say what I've seen so far, running this for about an hour, is I haven't seen the bet size really go anywhere higher than like 64 cents. And that's probably about, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses really. So nothing too deep besides that one, this big dip here. That's a pretty big dip. Yeah, but other than that, it's been pretty consistent. It just takes a long time to find a streak of 3 hits on the same side. That's the most time consuming part is. But once you find that, it usually, it's pretty quick. Yeah, it's working. It is working. I will probably cut back to when I finish this challenge because this is going to take me a long time. I'm actually kind of hoping this one, I don't think it's going to lose. Like I think this one could honestly go the entire way just because it's so safe. But one of my parameters for the challenge, like for the whole bracket, is to find a strategy that doesn't do this. One of my parameters is like the smallest amount of bets because I don't want to do this. Just sit here for several hours betting. And this one's not even, you can't even do a strategy on this, like an auto strat. It has to be manual. I think the guy that set this up, he says he runs like some sort of script that his computer like auto does it. But for me, I don't know how to do that, first of all. Second of all, I don't think you can set this up for like the website to actually run it on auto because you have to get this like 3 hits on the same side, and then I don't know. There might be a way to set it up. If you know how to set it up, feel free to leave a comment down below. But I don't think it's possible. I tried to like chat GPT it and everything. I couldn't find anything. So he even said you're gonna have to do it manually. It's very exhausting if you don't have a script. But I don't have a script. So we're doing this manually. It is working. Just painfully slow. And if this does bust, I'm gonna be so upset after spending hours doing this. But yeah. So I will come back either when this completes or busts, or if we start to get pretty low on the, if it starts to dip pretty good, I might come back, but I'll see you guys soon. All right, we're about to finish this up. We have like 5 bets left to win, and then we're done. I've been on this for 2 hours. Also, I realized my audio's been messed up on the last video and a little bit on this video. I don't know why that's happening. I had something with OBS, I think. It's never happened before. I haven't messed with the settings, but like it keeps glitching and it sounds like a little echo or something. So I'm not really sure what's causing that. If you guys know how to fix that, let me know. But in the meantime, I apologize if it sounds pretty annoying. But we're almost done with this. We're so close. I just had to set up the recording, so I was like locked in. I was ripping this. Now I'm just trying to be careful. Okay. There's 3 wins. Flip this. So close. And I will say, Salt, for submitting this strategy, I know you use a script to run this, but this is brutal, man. Running this manually. I've been doing this for 2 hours. And it's painful. If I could sue you, I'd probably sue you. I'd press charges. I would definitely press charges. If I knew you in person, man, I would press charges on you. This is disgusting. This should be a tactic in warfare to torture enemies. Oh, the profit goal was 1152. I actually went over that by a couple bets, but gosh, man, this thing is brutal. I mean, it works. It worked. Look at that graph. That's a pretty good graph. But it's just so slow. I spent 2 hours to get 10 bucks, 11 bucks. So, I mean, you got a big bankroll, might be a good strategy if your base bet is a lot higher. I kept thinking about increasing the bet size to like 4 cents just to make it go quicker. But I figured if it busted, then that'd be like changing your strategy up. So I just kept with the 2 cents as the base bet. But it finally worked. We're gonna enter that in the sheet and we'll wrap up the video. Okay, so the 2 strategies we ran today both won. The roulette strategy from Sunny and the dice strategy from Salt. They both worked pretty well. They both won, so we have to do tiebreaker. Obviously, I'm gonna go with Sunny on that. I hope Sunny wins just because the strategy is so much easier and so much faster. But we got to do the stats. I entered the stats down here. So we just do, based on these parameters here, we're gonna figure out which one performed better, okay? So strategy 7 was Sunny's. That was the first one we did with the roulette strategy, and then strategy 8 is Salt's with the dice strategy that took almost 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I'm hoping that one doesn't move on because I don't want to have to keep running that just for time purposes, but let's do some math here. Let's figure out which one won. So for the first category, this is the best 2 out of 3 for the tiebreaker. The first one was the final profit or loss. The final profit, these are percentage based because the bankroll does change between each strategy that I do throughout the entire bracket so far. So I'm doing these all in percents. But we want the strategy with the highest payout. So that would be the first one we did, the roulette one, Sunny's. That had a 26.09% profit. The other one had a 25.13%. That's because his had like the $12, so a little bit more. So he does win that category. Mark that green. The second category is the amount of bets placed, and some people said I should have changed this to like how much I wagered or something, like some other parameter. But this is the exact reason I made this one of the parameters to determine a tiebreaker. Whatever has the lower bets is a faster strategy. This is exactly why. I don't want to sit here for 2 hours and run a strategy. I know I keep talking smack on the dice strategy by Salt, but again, I'm not trying to sit here for 2 hours and make $11. It was a very good strategy. I will say that. I'm not trying to be too mean or harsh on him, but it was a very long strategy, and I just like to play real quick, get the day done, move on to the next one. So based on that parameter, the first one, Sunny's, had way less bets. We only had 48 for that one, and the dice strategy had 4,446. So Sunny's does win that. When it comes to the lowest dip, so whatever one dropped the lowest, Sunny's dropped about 20% of the bankroll that we had to work with, just based on a couple those bigger bet sizes on the roulette strategy. Did have a little bit of a harsher dip compared to the dice strategy. It pretty much didn't dip at all. I think throughout the entire strategy I ran for 2 hours, I think it dipped below the $0 line like once, and it was a very tiny dip. It was like maybe like 50 cents or something. So it was only a 1% loss. So that one did win there. I will give that to Salt. But overall, Sonny's strategy had the better profit and lower bet, so it was a little bit quicker to run. So he's gonna move on to the next round. That determines our winner for there. Like I said, both very good strategies. I'm not saying that the dice strategy was terrible, but it's just a very slow one. So that's what we're rocking with. There's the bracket set up for now. Here's who's moving on so far. We're halfway through, I guess, we're a little bit over halfway through. We did 4 videos so far. We're halfway through. We got 4 more to go. So we're halfway through the first round. And then obviously each round after this will be a lot quicker because we'll have less strategies to play through. So next episode, we're gonna have another roulette strategy and another dice strategy. Very popular games we've been playing recently, but they'll be different strategies. Same games, but just different strategies. And yeah, so looking at our tracking sheet today, we won both days, thankfully. So both strategies, I like them a lot because they both paid out. That's what we're looking for. Overall, we had a total gain on the video of $25 between the 2 strategies, and then like little bonuses we got from the outside casino apps and the Bitcoin balance going up a little bit. So overall, we had $25 gained on this entire video, which is really good. Still making really good progress. We should be at about $500 at this point in the challenge, but we are well over double that based on where we're actually sitting. So the tracker's where we should be to make our $1 million, and obviously we're way past that. We're about double, so we're doing really good. Like to see it. But that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support. Like the video if you haven't already, subscribe, join the Discord, the link is in the description, and that will be it for this one. So I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, peace.